Hello everybody, Tim Norris here. You could call me GreyElephant.
And I'm Carmen Norris.
And welcome to a quick review by GreyElephant Gaming. Today we're going to be talking about...
Trajan.
Trajan. Okay, now this is a Feld game. We love Feld games. I don't know if you guys are aware of that, but we do. We heart Feld. Which means that's like super love, okay? So the purpose of this video is to give our opinions of what we think of this game. But if you want to see this game in action, what should they do?
They should watch the live play.
It's right there. It's right there. Just click on that. It'll take you over to the live play, and you can see how this game works in real time. Now, what we've done, we've written down our thoughts here. My printer wasn't working. We had to handwrite these guys. I mean, I drew a little picture. I had to scribble it out, so I scribbled it out so you guys didn't see my picture.
Yes, that we had to handwrite this.
Yes, it was
shows
brutal.
how much we appreciate you.
And how dedicated we are. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about this game. Now, one of the things that really stood out to me that it took me, for some reason, it was one of the hardest things to comprehend, but it's one of the neatest aspects of the game, and that is the action markers and how they work in the action circles, and how you must stop on the last, bowl or whatever you want to call it, and that's where you're going to be performing the action. And trying to set that up mentally is a very difficult task at times.
I just think it's brilliant because it's not just a worker placement where, you just get lucky and stick your worker on the board because you happen to be first in turn order or whatever. But I think it takes a bit more strategy to move these around. There are times when you simply can't take the action you'd prefer because you just can't get them into the right bowl. Yeah,
and I think that's the cool strategic part of the game is trying to line that up perfectly.
Yeah, I like lining it up to where I can take the same action like 2 or 3 times
in a row.
Yeah.
The other thing that I think is cool is that I like how you can take multiple actions with a single activation. So even though, it's like, okay, yeah, if I move this action marker to this bowl, that's the action. Maybe it's like a build action, a shipping action, whatever. But what's cool is if you try to benefit from the Trajan tile, and if you line up the colors of the action markers with the Trajan tile, so that gives you an action. Then you can get actions from buildings. Then you can get extra action tiles, which can let you perform the action twice, but then you can also get the ×2 action marker on those. You can really do a lot of stuff on one turn if you line this up just right.
I really like combining the extra marker with building because then you're getting extra action, extra action, extra. It's like your turn's never going to end in that case. But I found the easiest way, kind of a beginner strategy is just make sure that you keep the Trajan tiles, keep your action circles filled with those. Because then you're definitely going to be getting extra points every time. I
think that's good advice even for experienced gamers. Just keep as many Trajan tiles on your board as possible. The other thing that I think is really cool about this is the demand tiles. These are kind of like one of those things where it's like nobody wants to mess with having to acquire the demands, but at the same time you have to, because if you don't, you will suffer some serious negative points. Up to 15 negative points if you're not careful.
Right. It gives you a bit more to think about. Do I want to suffer, maybe I could miss 4 points because this action's going to actually be worth more to me than that. I'm just going to say, it's a bit more difficult to play a 4-player game. We've played 4-player and we've played 2, and 4-player you kind of get hedged out of some of the shipping strategies, some of the military strategies. You're getting cut off when you're building more. So I think I almost prefer playing with 2. But, 4-player is still a great game. It's just a bit more competitive.
Well, it's funny that you mentioned the strategies because there are several strategies you could take in this game. That's one of the things I love. Everybody always calls point salads. I like to look at it as I have a lot more options than just one linear path to victory.
Right.
You can focus on military, you can focus on shipping, you can focus on building, you can try to do the Senate. There's a lot of ways to get points. Now, my biggest struggle has always been the military. I've never been able to maximize that. I guess that's not my strength, is trying to get them generals and then having to put a legionnaire there. It's very difficult to get that.
It feels like there's too many steps. Like it takes you forever to get to that point.
It does, but it's probably just as much as the other ones.
Oh yeah,
I don't know why.
See, shipping feels that way to me because you only get 1 card when you take a shipping action. Well, so it's like, it's going to take forever,
But I almost find that, okay, and let's use that as an example. Here's what's interesting. With the military, it feels like you have to plan this. This is very methodical. It's like, okay, I place my general here, I move up a legionnaire, I score the points. I move my general, I move up a legionnaire, I score points. Now, when it comes to the shipping, it almost feels like there's a bit of a luck factor involved in that.
Exactly. I mean, you never know which card you're going to get. Sometimes you might happen to get 3 of the same kind and score bigger, and sometimes nothing ever matches up. And so that's just kind of luck factor there.
That's probably the only luck factor in the game.
Every time you're drawing cards, you're going to have a luck factor.
Yeah, it's just part of it, isn't it?
Yeah.
So I would rank this probably, because like I said, we love Feld titles. We love Feld games. We have just been introduced to this about a month or so ago. Where would I rank this? I mean, so to us, it's kind of almost like the new and shiny. Because we've just now been introduced to it.
Well, yeah.
So, but where would we rank it? Now, we love Bora Bora. We love Castles of Burgundy. We love Bruges. Aquasphere's coming out, which I have played and you haven't yet. Where does it rank for you?
I think it depends on the number of players. I really do. I like Castles of Burgundy for 4 players. I love it. I love it with 4 players. I think that with 2 players, this one's my favorite.
I would have to say with 2 players, this is my favorite. But I do love... Bruges is not very good with just 2 players. I think it's best with 4 players. So that one is one, if you got 4 players, you definitely want to play Bruges. Bora Bora can be a difficult game, but I think that works just as well with 2 players as it does 4. This one, I do agree. I think this one works best with 2 players because you're not really being muscled out of things as quickly as you know.
I don't like being hedged out of things.
No, you don't. No,
but I like worker placement games. It makes sense, right?
So overall, I think what this game would lack in any kind of theme. I mean, yeah, it's got a Roman-style theme, but truthfully, it's not really there. But it doesn't matter because there's
no story to it. I guess.
Let's just be honest. But you know what? I mean, yeah, it's just another Euro in that aspect. But with the smooth gameplay and the strategy is huge in this one. This makes for a very enjoyable experience, and it's one of the best games that I think Feld has produced.
So, that's our conclusion. We love it. You should try it out.
Absolutely. So, if you want to know more about this game, though, you should check out our live play. Go click on that, take you over to it, and you can watch this game in action. And we appreciate you watching. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.